So happy whatever day it is that you would be celebrating on this day that I record this, which happens to be Thanksgiving. Okay, let's do this. So, what you're looking at here is a program called FL Studio, um, and it is uh, in version 21 now, something like that. 21, yeah. Uh, and so I've had this for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, something like that. And the reason I say that is because as far as the investment, the cost, I think it was $300 for the package that I bought 15 years ago. And it's something that when I first bought it, I played around with it a little bit, stopped using it for years, then came back to it, played around with it for a little bit, and then didn't use it. But then more recently, over the past 2 or 3 years, I've become more interested in using it. So I've learned a little bit more on how to use it because it's a pretty big program in the sense of the things that you can do with it. And I am not I don't have a background in any of this music production stuff except that I like music and I like playing with instruments and playing with an electronic instrument is fun. It opens up more opportunities to build on things. You can be just as creative, but just have more things to work with in your creations. So that's why I've liked FL Studio and been playing around with it and trying to learn more. I've been making music with it, and it's been fun. So I think it's a good investment in that it's not a excuse me. It is not a contract that I've had to renew or anything. I just paid $300 something, and for 15 years I've had opportunity to use it. I haven't used it, but I've been able to come back to it whenever I want to, and it's been fulfilling for me in that sense. And the other thing is, like I said, it's on FL Studio 21. I didn't buy this version. I bought it, whatever version it was. So every upgrade, it just stays with you. It's just a part of my life now. FL Studios is, or FL Studio is a part of my life now. So yeah, that's that. So as far as investment goes, yes, I definitely think that it is worth purchasing if you have an interest in music, or like a hobbyist or something that just likes to have a toy to tinker with. This is a toy that lasts for a long time and you can't break it. You can always go back to it. So that's that. So what is it? I had said that it is a music production program. And I guess, yeah, that's what it is. I don't know what the official terminology might be for that, but I call it a music program. So it is overwhelming to me. I do not have a background in this. Everything I've known in a DAW. That's what it's called. It's a digital audio. I'm not going to try to get that. But these are music production things, and they're all I don't know, translations of physical things that you'd find in the studio, and it's all in this one program on this one screen, and all these different windows. So FL Studio, my history with it, it started out as Fruity Loops, Fruity Loops, and it was a program, and it was it basically, this is what I remember of it. This screen here, that is the channel rack, and you assigned different sounds, and then you could make beats. So I have the channel rack playing, and there's nothing on there, so nothing's playing. But if I put some beats in here, then I hit play, then you can see the beats in there. And if I add things, and you can make all these different sounds and all these different cool beats, and it was a lot of fun. And then I really only, I'd pull in a few sounds here and there. This was back when I was early college, so 20s, early 20s, late 1918, I don't know. But anyway, the beats were all that I really played with, and we just, I don't know, it wasn't anything big. I don't even know if I had yes, I did have a full version of it. And I do remember there were other things you could do with it, but Fruity Loops for me was really just the channel rack. So then flash forward to whenever they became FL Studio, I had learned of them and saw that it was the same thing, and decided, yeah, sure, I should get that. And then I saw that there was so much more. Like, I had just realized after all these years that I can create videos within here to the music. So when I create songs, if I want, I can export it, and it's not like it was hiding anywhere. It was export video file, and that brings me to a whole other thing, and which allowed me to do some of the things that I've wanted to do or thought about doing over the entire time I've owned this, and now I can, now that I start playing with it. So anyway, a quick tour, the main things that I use in here. This is the channel rack. This is what I just demonstrated. You can click in here and add sequences. I think it's called a sequencer. And I can take pieces out as it plays if I want to adjust it. Really fun. Right clicking and left clicking. Left clicking adds, right clicking takes away. Simple setup. So yeah, that's the channel rack. And in the channel rack, you can assign different instruments. We can add more. And see, it shows up. Also, you can adjust what volume channels these are on. So we'll get to the sound thing in a second, but these all control what sound thing it goes to. So if you wanted to make the FL keys louder than the snare, then you can do that by going, we'll just go to it now, and your master control. So these channels are tied to these numbers here, or these numbers are tied to these channels. And so if I, like I said, wanted FL keys to be louder than the snare, that's 3 and 4. So I would just make sure that 4 was lower. Yeah, so let's throw something in there just to show you the sound. If we turn down, I don't know, 4 is the snare. Cool. So yeah, so that's the, stop that. So that is the volume control. So this is the master section, and this is cool because you can apply different sound effects, and that's where a lot of the power of these programs come in. FL Studio being a DAW. You can apply different effects to it, and I haven't quite figured all that stuff out yet. I do know, all I have used this really for is to adjust the volumes and to attach my own instrument. So if I play, if I hook my bass or guitar up to it, selecting channels in here for the mixer. But other than that, I haven't done too much, and I do know though there are all kinds of cool effects you can add to it. And so the other big piece I use is the piano roll, this thing. And what this does, so where this is just your beats, so every one I do is going to be the single note, and it's represented in this piano roll. See these green bars here. This is for the FL keys. I can see that because of that here, FL keys. And so if I take away, you can see the bars go away. So each bar is representing one beat here. And right now, if we play it, it's all one note. But if we move a bar, you should hear I gotta put my headphones on. I can't quite hear. Yeah, we heard the piano note move up. We'll do a couple more so it's a little bit more noticeable. Oops. Yeah, so that's what the piano roll does. You can adjust the notes, and you can down here you can control how hard the note is hit. The velocity of it is what it's called, and you can control the length of the notes too. So I can go in now. Essentially, what I can do is write a whole song in here, put all the notes, because I can take. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. There we go. I can make full notes here and extend them and move them to wherever I want. So if I wanted to, let's see. So I have my keyboard set up to this too. It's another thing, which is nice about this. I can go ahead and play with the different instruments that are in here. But so if I hit the keyboard here to see, this is the note that I'm hitting right here. And then, so if I wanted to play that note or represent that note in here, I can put it here. So say I wanted to play those three notes there. What was that? So I have that note there, and then say I wanted to go here, so then I'd place that here. And then what was the other one? This one here. And I place that there. And now, this sounds awful, I'm sure. Let's move here. Yeah. So that's what the piano roll does. You're able to kind of mess around with the notes there. And then down here, or over here, is like your main screen. So, you know what? Let's just keep going. So, the pattern is what we created with when we were messing around with this. So, this is this channel rack here is this pattern here, and this piano roll is also that same pattern, or representing that. Well, it's representing the snare in this case for that pattern. So this is more selected on the. Yeah. So just for clarification, that piano roll is more centered on this piece as opposed to this piece. If we're looking in the structure going downwards, anyway. confusing things. Pattern. So we've got this pattern. You can see that there's like little bars, sort of gray. Those are the notes that we're playing around with in the piano key. Right here are your track. Like this is the whole song. So if I pull this pattern on here, this is on track 1, and I can move it around this grid, snap it to different places. You can make adjustments as to how that snaps through the tools up here, or this magnet tool. There are all kinds of tools, most of which I don't use and I'm not familiar with, but excuse me. But so we can put this pattern up here, and with this pattern here, we've incorporated it into the whole song. So up here, where you've got your play controls, you see pat and song. Pat means if it's glowing that the pattern is selected. So if I hit play, it's just going to play whatever pattern I have selected. Right now we only have one, so it's going to pick that. So if I hit play, and that's our awesome song. And then if I want to play the song though, which will play everything that's down here, then I'm going to need to hit it down to song. But let's just create another pattern real quick to show the difference between playing with two patterns. So we just add another pattern by clicking this plus sign over here and giving it a name. Let's call it pattern 2. And there are other things you can do. You can color these and organize them. So for a while, when I was last playing around with this a lot, I was really getting into learning the best practices. And there are all kinds of tools that you can do to keep things organized. I was coloring each type of sound that I usually use the same, being consistent with it, which I agree with is perfect. But I don't do that. I'm not. Lately, I've just been playing around and just jumping in and exploring. So I'm not in the habit of doing that, but you certainly can do that, and it's easy to do. They've got a whole rename and color. If you right-click on it, and you can change the colors to be whatever you wanted it to do. Rename it to. We'll just name this kick. So now I've got kick, and pattern 1, kick, pattern 1. And if you look up here, you'll see that those names change, so you know what is selected. So right now we don't have anything in kick. If I hit play, we're selecting that. There shouldn't be anything. And then if I switch to pattern 1, now you'll see that kick, pattern 1. So they're two separate things. Now if I want to add something to kick, I can just go into there and then select my step sequencer, and let's just say we want to put this kick in here. We'll hit play. Let's do that. And stop that. And now we can see up here, kick, you may be able to see there's little shades coming in there, and we'll just drop this on top here. And then we'll play with the pattern again, so we'll play it. And we'll listen to pattern 1. All right. So now we want to hear the song, which has pattern 1 and kick, which I just dragged onto there. And if I switch it to song and play it on song at the same time. So that's what this is. You start layering on your patterns, however you want to do it. And it makes it's easy to move around. So you've got these grids. These numbers up here represent the measures. In this setup here, it's 4 beats per measure. If you listen to the kick, that is going at the tempo. we can adjust that tempo. Where is it? Where are you at, tempo? There you go. So right here is what the tempo is. You can see it's at 130. If I right click on it, I can select the slower one, or I can select the faster one. And what's cool on this, I just started playing with this because I tend to come up with songs in my head which don't have quite the rhythm that is like normal, or not normal, but that that these are set to typically. So what you can do is tap out your rhythm, and in order to get the same thing. So let's see, we'll just play what it is now. And then if I click to tap, so you can set that tempo however you want to set it. It's cool. It is cool. That is it's the last thing I started working with, or started playing with. So yeah, so now that the tempo's slowed down, what does that song sound like? Well, it didn't sound great to begin with, but you know what? I think it sounded better at the 150, 130. All right. So now, if we wanted to like expand this song is too short, but we don't want to add anything else on there. Let's say we can drag these over as we did, but once they're on here, there's a paintbrush tool here that allows you to copy, or allows you to paste, I should say. And it's the way that it works. Basically, whatever the last one you selected is, once you click on it, it'll it will drop it down there. If you want to delete it, you can just right click. If you want to select multiple, if you hold down the control key, and this one actually you need to be in the selection tool, but hold down the control key and do that. Do you have to be in the selection tool? We'll find out. Nope, you don't. Hold down the control key and make your box over it to select multiple. I just click out of it by right clicking. And then the other way you can copy over, that I've tended to do more frequently, is to select whichever one you want to copy, and you hold down the control key, hold down the shift key, and just drag it over. Because typically when I'm copying, it's to do this, but I'll have blocks. So I might have, maybe I want to copy this pattern itself. So if I select all of that and hold down the shift key, I can move it and align it like that. Because I'm not able to just do that click and paste thing. Or maybe I am and I just don't know how to do that. That's a possibility as well. So let's see how this sounds as a full song. We've got our kicks going all the way through, and then that pattern that we just kind of threw out there. Play. And there's nothing here, so the kicks only go. There. All right, so that's the layout, generally speaking. The last thing to really kind of show in the layout of playing around with it and the things that I use are the sound effects over here. Well, there's the sound effects, and then there's the instruments, but we'll go with the sound effects first. So the sound effects, I said sound effects, all the sounds. They're not all just sound effects. That's a category as well. But so if we look at the channel rack, all of these are different sounds. That's the kick sound. Let's see if we go to the clap sound. Oops. Actually, I think you can play the sound right from here. Can you? Maybe not. All right. Anyway, so, but if you hear that clap there, right? That's what that sounds like. Hear the hi-hats. Snare has its own sound. Yeah. All right. So we can change those sounds too. So let's actually, rather than mess around with the kick, we'll, excuse me, we'll make a new pattern, and we'll, I don't know, call this sound 1. And what we'll do is we'll open the channel rack, and we haven't been using clap at all, so we'll go ahead and replace that with let's do another type of hat. So if we look at the hats, open up that folder, if you click, you can hear the different sounds. So let's use Ice Hat 5, and we can just click, and we can either replace it by hovering over it or put it in between. But if we go over it like that, then all right, so we've gone ahead and made ourselves another sound, and we'll drop this on here. So you can keep adding to the tracks this way, going through, or you can put them on the same one so that they're on the same track. I tend to just put them on different tracks like this because it's easier for me to see. I don't know if there's a benefit one way or the other, but do tell if there is. So let's just say we wanted to fill in some of this blank space with that sound. And then slap it down there as a stinger at the end. All right, so what's it sound like now? We've made those additions. All right, so we've added those tracks, and we've added one sound, but there's all kinds of sounds to use. So let's we've added a little bit of percussion. So let's look at that sound effects section just to see what else is here. So these are more like sound effects. More sound effects. So I think these are separated into different categories. One of them is, see, this one's in the drums pack versus just its own. Anyway, more sound effects, and then vocal sound effects. Give it, jumper, feel it. All right, let's throw this in here just for the heck of it. So with these, you can also make the channels just as we were doing it before, but you can also drag these things over right onto the onto the arrangement or the playlist, and so let's fill that here. And then now that it's on here, I can do that paste just like I was doing before. I'll put that there. So now what's it sound like? Cool. And then so it sounded to me like that Lori Webb one was pretty loud. So that's where we go into the volume control, like the mixer thing. So I want to make sure that I have this on a audio track and call it 6. So if I look at all of them, yeah, doesn't matter which one I use. If I want to keep it distinct though from the others, I gotta make it different from whichever one. I'll make it 5. And if we go to 5, oh yeah, because I turned those down earlier, that's why. So now if I play it, alright. So now that volume's been adjusted there. So now we've got all that. So now let's look at the instruments that I was talking about. So, but with all of these, you can go through. And actually another cool thing, do one more thing, guys. I just found out about, and here is the speech. So So you can do these voices and you can add speech. So if you, how do you do this? What'd you do, Andre? I think you open in a new channel. Yeah, that was it. Open in a new channel and then you can type in whatever you want it to say. So that just had done the alphabet, but I can say, what do you think about FL Studio? And then if I play that,
what do you think about FL Studio?
And then I can change what
do you think about FL Studio?
What pitch it is, what note it is. I wonder, wonder if I could adjust that from the keyboard. No. But anyway, so if I hit accept, it'll ask me to save it someplace, and this is not set up correctly, so that's where it will be. That, and then where is it? I think it saves down in here. Yeah. So I've got this sound here, and now I can drag this in here. Let's put that in this spot here, like where that is. Oops. There, and now we'll play the song. We got a banger. I'm pretty sure this could be incorporated into their new ad campaign. I don't know, I feel like there should be another feel it at the end. I didn't expect to actually want to actually make a song here, but why not? All right, so yeah, we'll just do that as the end of it. So. Let's keep waiting. There we go. All right, so, but I don't like, let's show one more thing before we add another thing. I don't like how much space there is here. So I kind of want to get rid of this section. And so you can do that also in FL Studio to, I don't do it too often because I don't feel comfortable doing it, but let's see if I right click, is it? Yeah, there we go. If I right click, no, I'm sorry, hold down Control and left click and drag, I can select a whole section. In this case, it's only this one, but let's say I had wanted to get rid of everything in this line, or this line where there's 3, I can do the same thing here, and delete this one section, which actually it looks like it would delete that too. But anyway, I want to delete this one section. So I'm going to right click, or sorry, hold down Control, left click, and then if I hit Control delete, yeah, then it cuts it and it pulls everything in. So now I can see, now I've made myself some space there. Let's see what that is. Yeah, that feels better in the end. All right, so now we've got that little kick there, and now I wanted to show you the instruments. So the other cool thing I like about it is we go and add another channel, and all right. So I've added my channel. Now I can go through. Whoops! I don't know what's going on here. What's going on? Oh. And let's throw what do on an audio channel. It has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do now, but here we go. All right, so instrument 1, then we're gonna use, so first of all, FL keys. Actually, do I already have FL keys on there? Yeah, I do. So FL keys is the piano. And you can, I have the piano set up, or a little keyboard set up to my computer through FL Studio. So it's a MIDI controller, I think the kids are calling it nowadays. I think it's officially a MIDI controller. But you can also play it from your keyboard. It's not laid out necessarily as a piano is if you know music or if you know how to play the piano, but it gives you the opportunity to control that. And then also there's the playlist editor, which is laid out like a piano. So to be able to show you what notes are there. So where was I? Back in here. So with that selected, you can go ahead and play whatever you want to play and go through. You can record it. We'll just do a quick recording just to show. So you just select the pattern and then select the record button, and then you can use the metronome if you want to keep beat as you play, or you can turn it off, whatever. All right. Whoa, okay, clear it all off. And so now you see that's what we just played. And we can actually look at that in the piano editor or the piano roll. And if we hit play, so if you're a stickler for being on beat, you'll notice that this is not off beat, or is off beat. So I wasn't hitting them. Maybe if I'd had the metronome, it would have done better. But let's see how this sounds as is. If we add it to the mix, I don't have high hopes for this. Oops, there we go. And we'll just bring it across. So one more on there. Alright, so if we switch it to song and hit play. Oh yeah. So, you can already, I don't really think it had anything to do with the fact that it was offbeat, but let's say we thought it was. We can go ahead and fix that by adjusting those notes in the piano roll. So we can grab them, move them around. There's a tool up here called Quick Quantize, which will snap them. I think it's how it works. It snaps it to the nearest measurement that you have selected over here. So it'll snap it to the nearest 1/6 step or 1/6 beat or bar, whatever. I don't have anything selected on that, so it's not going to snap it to anything. I don't think. See if I do that. It shouldn't do anything. Nope. But if I switch this to say beat, see how those lines break apart? It's going to snap it to this beat. If I do that, there. And so now when we play it, boom. And it sounds like, notice how it goes longer? That is because of the, nope, yeah, it's because this is sliding over, I think. Yeah, so if I slide this back, no it's not, oh. I have to fix this, because when you set this, it adjusts how you can, it changes how you can adjust the bars on there. So, as far as precision goes, so if I want to bring this back one now, it'll go to the snap. That's why I had it on none before. Oh, is there another note? Oh, no, it's just in the middle. Let's bring this back to 5 then. There. So now, go to song, we'll look at the playlist. All right, I think we can agree that this first part is, I don't like it. It doesn't sound very good with this, or maybe this just doesn't sound good, period. But you can play around with the pieces in the playlist editor here by like grabbing the ends and cutting them pieces off. So if we wanted to say, I don't know, just cut this off in this instance here. Did I cut it off all the way? So you can undo, hit Control Z. And you can, if you decide, oh no, I did want to do that, I think it's Control Alt Z. That redos, yeah. Redoes, not redos. Redo with Control Alt Z, undo with Control Z. Okay. So if I wanted to shorten this, let's say down to here, I could cut that off. And everything else is still the same. So if I hit play. All right, so let's say I definitely don't want that there, but I think what I do want to do is tag it to the end under Lori here. So let's Control Z it back, and I want to cut just this section, so I can use the cutting tool and cut there, and now I can select it and move it to here. Let's get rid of this for now, and now let's hear what that sounds like over there. Oh, that's kind of sounds weird because it has this rise up into that pattern. So I don't know. That sounds weird enough for me. So the other thing I want to do, so I could, probably the most sense to make would be to change this up and slide it all down rather than cut and paste. I could also just copy this and shift and pull like I was doing. But let's, since we know that we really just want that whole thing changed, moved, let's just mess around with it in the playlist editor. Or the piano roll, there we go. So we are bringing this first to, what is it? Yeah, just these. So if we do that Control hold to select multiple and then just drag it over, that should work. We could have probably been better served by copying and pasting. Let's see, let's do that. Hit Control Z. All right. So they're both selected. We'll say Control C. That copies it, and then we'll move it over here. And I think I figured out if you bring it to like the furthest part over when you hit Control V, it'll paste in the right spot. I think that works. Control, yay! All right, so now we've got this full thing, but we got to get rid of the first part because, and we can get rid of it the same way we, was it Control? Yeah. And then Control Delete, and then we're good. So now we can go back into here, and you can see that that's changed. So we got it back. No, we don't. Oh wait, do we miss something? Oh no, because I cut this off, right? There. Slide that over. Now we're good. There. Now let's see what it sounds like. There. And then the final thing, let's add something other than a piano. So if we go and create instrument 2, up in here, and we'll add, and we will select flex. So in here, you have all kinds of different sounds and instruments to play with. It's 80s theater. And you can adjust this stuff. This makes it a lot more powerful, this section over here. I don't know how to do all that right now, so I haven't even looked at it for the most part. But but there's plenty to choose from for different, like a lot of different stuff. But if you also go, this section here, the ArcSun Cityscape is what it starts off at, or for me, was on default. So there's a lot of different sounds here, but if I go over to the general MIDI library, this is where there's a lot of like individual instruments. So you have your sounds in there in the sequencer for like things like the cowbell, for example. But in here, I think the sounds are a little bit better if you're looking for those types of things, and you can mess around with the tones a lot easier through this way. You could do it, I suppose, with those other sounds using it through the piano roll, but Flex is. I don't have an explanation for it. This is how I do it. And you can make any kind of sounds or whatever, but yeah, like I just found this the other day, and I was like, because I was looking for a guitar sound before I had an idea for a song, and I just couldn't find one in here. And I hadn't looked in Flex. I just was using the first menu items that were available. So I didn't see those sounds. So I was using, if you look in here, they've got like guitar. And if that's set to distorted guitar, we'll say Strat. Drop it. And it sounds like an organ. Like it's very digital versus what I was looking for was something more along these lines. So, a lesson in that is using this, explore, and go to different places, because you're not going to find everything you need in one location. So yeah, so let's say we wanted to just add that in there. So we'll go back to what we were doing before. Make sure we're selected on instrument 2. And we want this one, was it? And we'll record it. We've got this, we'll slap this there. And then I think if I hold it down and drag it, it'll paste as you go. Cool. So it's a song. That sounds really messy. Why don't we do this? See how it works. There. Now. All right, and we'll add one more sound effect because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I want to hear a horn or something. Here maybe, or maybe after each of those. But we'll just find some annoyingly loud sounds. No, that's not. Come on. Sound effects. Ooh, risers are. Let's throw that at the beginning, just for the heck of it. And then we'll throw the big boom in there someplace. All right. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, let's do crunchy bass for this one down here. After this first one. No, after this first one. And then we'll do that. Does it explode? Yeah. Do that after. This one. All right. Now what's this sound like? Oh yeah. You know, I think there was a point here, I don't know if it sounded good, but it sounded better. But I mean, that just, there's a lot you can layer on and chop it up and play around with the stuff however you want to. So I think that's what I really like about it. It's the program as a whole. I can be creative in a lot of creative ways. It's not just limited to kind of spatial recognition or creative concept building or whatever. It's, you know, you kind of get the whole package in this. And I'm forced to challenge myself in finding paths and learning ways to do it. So yeah, I like the program. Right? So to answer the first question again, I'll reiterate, this is a good investment, or has been for me. 15 years, $300, not too bad. So let's say that, so now that I've created this monster here, this Frankenstein. Actually, I want to adjust the volumes for this riser flange. That was kind of loud. Six. Put those both on 7. And I think those were fine. And probably turn this down to, yeah, I'll put it at the same level as Lori's. And that boom's loud. This is the riser. That's actually, I think a boom gets kind of loud. What is that on? I don't think I have it on a sound. Yeah, so that got kind of loud. That was an 8. That's good. All right, so now I've got my volumes all adjusted. Now I can export it as a song or as a file. If you go to MP3, WAV, whatever, or I could upload it, or sorry, I could export it as a video file, which is what I typically do once I make stuff. I just like to come up with a. It's easy because I post it on YouTube as one of the platforms, so I need a video for that. So that's what I do. Anyway, when you do this, it also makes a WAV file too. So that's why I can, if I get that, I get my video for YouTube, and then I get my WAV file, which I go and master through another service, and then post that to other things. But video file, and then it's pretty cool. Like I typically I find images to upload myself, but they have a bunch of templates that you can use as like the cover of your video, or the background of your video. Excuse me, the background image of your video. So if I think go here, does it give me the full screen? No. I have to click up here. I can scroll and see all that stuff, but I can also, if I know one that I want to go with, I don't know, let's just say, Rhodium Smooth sounds cool. All right, so let's say that's what we're throwing on there, and we want to change the song title to What Do You Think About FL Studio? Oops. And the author is do it. Yeah, you know what? Sure. I'll put it out there. And I'll take out the comment. And I can, so this is really big, right? So you can change the settings. My screen resolution, or my screen isn't the best for this program. And down here, you can barely see it. I don't even think you're going to be able to see it on the, because of the way I have this set up. All right. All right, we're not going to go with that one because I can't get that to work well. So, Clove one. Ooh, it's pretty cool. I'd love to change this title though. We'll just change the title to be shorter. Yeah, we'll just call it FL Studio. All right, and that's good. And then the Old West bar. So when this plays, if I play it, it's gonna show me bars. There we go. There. All right, so that's what our video is gonna look like. And then there's a button down here that I can't see right now. So maximize. And then, so I always copy this to the clipboard. It gives credits for the video when I upload it. So I'll hit OK. I've copied that to the clipboard. I don't ever change anything in here. And I'll hit start. And then it's going to run for a bit. So once that's done running, you can upload it. It'll save into whatever you have it set up to save to. Then you can upload the video to YouTube, and you'll also get the WAV file. You can do whatever you want to do with that file as well. So I usually run it through, I've got a mastering service that just adjusts the volumes and all that stuff. And then I have a DistroKid account, and it posts to wherever I have it selected to post to. And then my music is shared. So that's FL Studio, how I use it, the things that are there. I highly recommend getting it if you're into music or creative or into learning different things. A lot of fun to use, a lot of options and uses, I guess. I've used it to help with podcast recording. I've used it to help with speech writing, and I've used it to make music. So it's cool, good stuff. That is all. I'm gonna post this song to YouTube. So if you've watched this, check out the song. What do we call it? I don't remember what I called it. I think I just called it FL Studio, didn't I? So anyway, I'll post that, and you can go ahead and see that final result there. Anyway, I'm done. It's Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving. And if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, then I hope you had a good day at work on Thanksgiving.